Hello everyone, I-80-386-SX, and I'm not sure, I'm going to tell you right up front here, I'm not sure if I should be proud of my restoration job on this or be apologizing to the retro community. I just don't know. So let's showcase this thing that looks good from 100 yards away. This is a compact Concerto. It's the 25 megahertz version, if I'm not mistaken. You can probably see some defects right off the bat with it. Oh, I got the keyboard to go in. Cool. Okay, so that's no longer a defect. You notice there's some shiny spots on this machine. That's just tape. That's taping the two pieces together. Once I get screws for it, then that problem will be all but resolved. So that's just a temporary condition. I gotta go hit up a hardware store and we'll see what we can do for that. But does it get worse? And this is where I think the apologies are going to have to start coming in. And I don't know if I can show this without really doing a number on it, but let's just say it's hardware store Hardware Hank has taken over this machine. And we do it best to franken it together. So yes, the stand for this machine is definitely not the original stand. The original stand, you have to either ask the previous owner or God himself to find out where the current stand for this machine is. But that's not all. It gets a whole lot worse. You see... No, you can't. Let's see if we can tip this thing. Now you can kind of see where I have blue tape covering some of it, but here, and all the way from like here to here, and it's even worse on this side. Right, that was the bad side, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so all the way from here, yeah, so where between my fingers are, and here, you'll notice something is rather off. I had to go, those whole sections were missing, so even if I found a handle for this thing, where was I going to attach it? So I came up with this solution. I got to give a shout out to a hardware store here in the not too distant future. This is a 1/16 by ½ inch aluminum bar. You can get those at most hardware stores. This particular piece I picked up at my local hardware store at one of the True Values around here. I think I paid $6 for it for a 5 or 6 foot section of it. But the thing that I'm almost proud of this is this here. This looks like a glorified rivet, but I rest assure you, it is not a rivet. I believe these are called binding posts. I'll show you here in a second if I can find one. So yeah, binding posts, they kind of look like rivets, but they have screws in them. And they screw in like so. So I drilled a 1/4 inch hole to let this go through, and this thing, it actually moves pretty nice, and it actually is pretty smooth. Now, there's a couple things I definitely wanted to differently if I were to do this again. These corners that are covered by electrical tape, just because they are sharp corners, and I just didn't feel like exposing that. That's the sole reason behind why that's like that. That's one thing I would do different, is I would have to get a bench grinder and round those off if I were to do that. Out of that, yeah, this one kind of looks cockeyed, but it does work. So far, it's holding up, so I'm happy about that. And if you're wondering, could I use this thing with a battery despite its Franken condition? And the answer is yes. Just don't pay attention to the battery that is heavily taped up. I just haven't sealed this one back up yet, but yes. Shoot. Battery's in. I can use this off of a battery, provided if it had any charge on it, so. It is a hair tighter than, I think, the original, but it absolutely does work, so we have that going for us. So, why did I restore this one? Well, they're rarer than hen's teeth. Oh no, I think I broke another piece of plastic off of this thing. That one was totally my fault if I did. Yeah, I think, yeah, that one's totally my fault. But yeah, these machines are rarer than hen's teeth. If you even look on eBay, the few that are left, they're really expensive. You're probably going to be paying about minimum of $200 at this point to get one that's even close to functional. So buying a parts machine is just, yeah, that's out of the question. You probably could 3D print some stuff and it would be fine, but it would be time consuming. And I don't have a 3D printer and I don't have the time. So, does it power up? Sure does. This machine has the original hard drive in it, which is a Conner CFN250A. So far, knock on wood, those are all holding up really well. Every single one so far. Pretty sure this is the 25 megahertz variant. I'm actually going to try to take the keyboard off so I don't break any more stuff. There we go. And I'm going to lay the screen down. Hopefully we don't damage anything in the process. If we do, then I'm going to cry a lot. All right, anywho, so this is a compact Concerto 425 at 25 megahertz, 8 megs of RAM, like I stated. It has a 250 megabyte hard drive. And the nice thing, well, I don't know if it's nice, but it is cool. I don't know if it's going to quite work in the BIOS, but check this out. We got a pen. Does not work in, I don't think we have a mouse pointer in this BIOS. Or do we? Oh, wait a minute. We do. No, we don't. We have a pen. Let's see if it works. But I got to boot it in the Windows before I do that. Screen doesn't look too bad, other than some minor artifacts. And the speaker does absolutely nothing. That's another issue that I may have to tackle. Hopefully it's not too much of a hassle to fix it, but we'll see when we get that far. And I believe this is DOS version 6. Yep. That's what Compaq preloaded this with. And this is Windows Pen Computing. Still don't know why this error comes up. I don't care. Now the question remains, as soon as this loads, does this machine respond to pen? Uh-oh, maybe. Yes, it does. And you look at that. It's responding to a pen, folks. There's even a CF card in there. Takes a little getting used to, but yep, there it is. Yep, so yeah, that's working. Yeah, this takes a lot of getting used to, and maybe it's not fully calibrated. I'm starting to think this is just not calibrated the whole way. Let's close that out. Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I'm still an idiot. For some reason, it's not responding to that, but I'm not getting this. That's kind of weird. I wonder because there's a mouse connected to it, that might be part of our problem, but it works when it wants to. But the mouse drag absolutely works. Oh, that's work. No. Now it's responding. Okay, be more gentle. That's the answer to this. So, yeah, this thing is working. This thing can stand on its own mostly. I'm going to put this away. The batteries were still remarkably good in this tablet. I was pleasantly surprised by that little nugget of detail, but yeah, despite what this machine has gone through, this thing's in good shape. At least from a functional standpoint. It looks absolutely horrible in those 2 spots I repaired, but that was my very first attempt at major structural repair on anything whatsoever beyond like a couple, hinge repair type things. But did I think it turned out okay? Presentation-wise, no sir, ma'am. Function-wise, oh yeah, we're cooking. So I'll see if I can fix the speaker. But I kind of call this like the close relative that had a major stroke or a massive stroke, and they're back to 75% prior to the stroke. That's what I call this. I'm going to call that part of success. And the machine is fully usable. Granted, it doesn't look the best anymore, but it absolutely does meet the purposes of what this Concerto represents, and it's good enough to be shown off. You'll probably see this at VCF Midwest 2025. If you are lucky enough to go down there, please join me. Unless I don't get a table, then it's sad times for me. Anywho, I am interested to hear what other people did, if they did any major structural repairs on other vintage systems, not compact or otherwise. And maybe you could tell me what went really wrong here. I used the plastic welder I used was from Harbor Freight. It's a discount hardware junk store in the States. It probably is worldwide. I don't know, but I used their plastic welder with the rods that came with the system, and that's actually something else I could show you. I know this is all out of order at this point, but whatever. Let's see, and you can see Harbor Freight also sells a different style. If you look real close here, there's a gray quarter. It's nice and hard, but I just couldn't get it to work with this machine for some reason, so I just went with the rods that it came with, and maybe that was my mistake. Maybe I just gotta take a sander or something and just do that. I don't know. I'm really interested to hear your experiences. If I owe you an apology, well, I'm sorry for Frankensteining a Concerto that did not stand on its own until I got my hands on it. The other issue that it came with is it did not power on, or if it did, it was such a short period of time that it just shut off like in 30 seconds. And that does us no good. So the DC to DC board has been capped on this thing, so it should be good for years to come, in theory. So again, thank you for watching this video. Have yourself a good one.